Archer.
Oh,
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name's Tracy. Thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day, your evening tonight, should I say, because we are going to be talking all things Super Patch. So excited. The momentum that we're creating already in the UK, getting ready for the launch, is just crazy. So, Super Patch, 2-year-old company, and it is the very latest in wearable health tech. Now, I'm not the best person to tell you about it yet because I'm still learning all of the things. So I'm going to pass you over to Nicole. Nicole's going to do a little bit of the science. Then we're going to have some people do a testimony and talk about business. It's just going to be great. So let's have a cup of tea, pour yourself a glass of wine, put your feet up, and let's go.
Awesome. Okay, you guys. So, what we are talking about is the future of wellness in a wearable device. This is an FDA registered medical device, which basically is just meaning it is safe for everyone. It is a class 1 medical device. So, it's kind of in their category with Band-Aids. So, safe for everyone, babies all the way up to our seniors. And let me show you how easy it is. Okay. So, this is the patch. It has a little tape on the back. You just take it off and you guys can see these little ridges. Can you see these little ridges on there? They look like a fingerprint. So this is basically like a QR code for your brain. So let me give you an example. If I were to this candle is not hot, but let's just say that this part was hot. If I was to grab this immediately, I would drop it, let it go, because the sensors in my skin would tell my brain just that quickly that it's hot, let it go, right? So what happens is this little patch right here, it has a code that's on there. This one is actually the boost patch. So this one is going to give me natural energy, no caffeine, no crash, and I am going to lay it anywhere you want on your skin where there's no bend, like you wouldn't want to put it here. And the minute that it touches my skin, it's sending a very quick message to my brain, much like Braille for your brain. So, when you're blind and you read something with the little ridges, it sends all of those messages to your brain. It's the same thing in this little device right here. So what's great about this is the minute I put it on, it starts working. And when I'm ready for myself to be done with my energy and I'm ready to go to bed, I just take it off. I don't have to sleep off caffeine. I don't have to do anything. It is just literally as quick as that. It's sending these tiny little messages to your brain. So that is through something called VTT or vibrotactile technology. It's actually based on Nobel Prize winning science. It's not a new concept, but it is new and developed into a patch. Like Tracy said, the company is 2 years old. Last year, we did $100 million in sales. Guys, that's insane. Like a 2-year-old company, $100 million in sales is pretty incredible. We are in 33 countries currently. So if you do decide that you want to partner here, you will have an international business. I know the team is already growing like crazy. We're in a lot of places. The company is based in Canada, and we love that everything is dollar for dollar. So that's another really important thing when you're looking at building a business. So we want to get into some of the good stuff. I would love if I could invite Richelle on. Richelle's going to share with us a little bit about her experience with the Super Patch. Tell us a little bit about where she was, what she used, and where she is now. So, Richelle?
Okay, hi. So I am a mama of 8 kids. I've had all 8 of my kids within 13 years. I have not had a break at all. I was very depressed, very, 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 excuse me, depressed. Postpartum depression, anxiety attacks. I had a lot of brain fog. I had no support. I was so sleep deprived, chronic depression. I had guilt because I wasn't able to take care of myself. And then when I did try to sort of take care of myself, I felt so bad for it. Like I should be doing more for everyone else, right? I was completely touched out, sensory overload. I was snapping all the time, like not a nice person to be around. And it I had a lot of resentment towards other people and towards myself. And I hated who I was. And I had tried everything you could imagine, you guys. I was taking 38 38 herbal capsules, pills, and supplements a day to try to feel some semblance of just like normalcy, like just being okay a little bit. I wasn't sleeping. God, my relationship was horrible. So when Nikki showed me these patches and she's like, you got to do this with me. You got to try this. I said, okay, because I trusted her and I was at my breaking point, sorry. I had lost hope. I didn't think that I was ever going to know what joy or peace or happiness really was. I was just zombieing through my days, just on autopilot, really deep in my depression, constantly having those like intrusive thoughts on loop of how I'm not good enough, or, I'm, for lack of better words, a piece of crap. Um, I'm not a good mom. My kids deserve better, I'm not a good enough partner, like really, really negative, intrusive thoughts. And it was debilitating, honestly. So I tried out the peace patch, the kick it patch, and the joy patch, which I have on right now. Kick it, peace, and joy. These three are my best friends. Since I started wearing those, you guys, I'm not snapping anymore. I literally can handle all 8 of my kids going absolute batshit crazy in my house and like mom, 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 and under pressure and crazy. And I'm just like, I'm good. I can handle it. I can deal with it. Um, I'm able to focus on what I need to do now. I'm able to sleep properly because before I would not be able to fall asleep. And then after hours of just laying there trying to sleep, I would get light sleep for a little while and then I would jolt awake in the morning, or sorry, in the middle of the night. I would jolt awake with like high cortisol. My heart would be racing. I felt sweaty. I didn't know. I was like, what the heck? Why am I always waking up like this? I don't have that anymore since using the Kick It patch and the Peace patch at night. They have lowered my cortisol, my anxiety. I'm able to sleep through the night. I use a smartwatch to monitor my sleep, and I'm getting more deep sleep and more REM sleep than anything else. And I only ever had light sleep before. So that was huge for me to wake up in the morning and be like, wow, I actually just slept through the night. Or wow, I don't feel like a train hit me, or like I'm hungover and I didn't even get to party last night, you know? So that has been just absolutely amazing as a mother because, I need to sleep. Um, Again, like I said, I didn't think that I would ever be able to know what true happiness was. Like I really was faking it. I was fully functioning depressed woman for a very long time. And the peace and joy patches, you guys, have changed that for me. I am so happy. I am spending time with my kids and I'm enjoying it, not like thinking in my head, I wish that I was somewhere else, or I want to run away and just be free for once. Like, I don't feel that anymore. I am genuinely enjoying my time with them. I am more present and conscious around them. And like my brain is not on overdrive anymore. So, like I said, I was getting those really, really negative, intrusive thoughts on repeat, on a pattern of like the worst things that you could think of, um, to the point where, you know, I I was suicidal for a while. I wrote letters to Dylan. That's my partner, sorry. I wrote letters for my children. I'm gonna try not to cry. I was, and I didn't I didn't want to be that person, I didn't want to do that to my family. I didn't want to do that to myself. I didn't want to give up. And the kicking patch has gotten rid of that for me. I don't have those feelings anymore. I have a freshly 9-month-old baby. I'm still not getting a full night's of sleep. I'm still not getting any, you know, peace in my house. If you think about it, like it's always crazy. It's always loud. I don't get breaks, and I'm fine with that now. Like I am happy with that. And I feel like I'm finally thriving in my life. Whereas I used to just want to quit all the time and run away all the time. I'm really, really happy. And I don't have that middle of the day fatigue crash where I'm yawning and my eyes feel like they're bleeding. I'm just, you guys, these patches are freaking amazing. I don't know what else I can say. Just
Richelle, oh
Slide
my
out.
gosh. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You guys, she was really nervous because of course that's such a vulnerable position for you to be in, right? And I think I see that there's a lot of mamas on this call. And so we certainly, we understand. I feel like that overwhelm. I mean, I know I just have a 3-year-old. I just have one. I can't imagine 8. But those are really, really hard feelings. And I know I have a testimonial too with the piece and my postpartum depression. You just, it feels good to be able to come out of that. And so I'm
Yeah.
so glad that Super Patch found you. And I know that you and your testimony has helped a lot of people already. And hopefully some on this call are going to experience the same thing. And it's so good to see you smiling. I can really I can feel that excitement in your voice. It just feels good
It's
to
so good to
feel.
feel this way.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much, Richelle, for coming on and sharing. Yeah, you guys, that's a great testimonial. So again, just to recap, that was kick it, peace, and joy, in case you're looking for that perfect combo. So again, peace is going to lower your cortisol. It's gonna keep you from being snappy. My husband says I'm a little stabby. And so he'll ask me, like, you have your peace back? I'm like, no. I'm gonna go put it on right now. And then joy is for that hope and happiness. And then kick it really is to help bad habits. And so we have to remember some of those thoughts, especially those intrusive thoughts, they play on loop in our head. And so those 3 combination are a really great tool in your toolbox. So thank you so much, Richelle, for sharing. All right. So next I'm gonna bring up my amazing friend, Niki Purcell. Niki, can you unmute and start talking so I can spotlight
I'm right
you?
here. Hi.
Oh, I don't know what happened to my computer. I love it when it does weird things like this. Hold on just a
Yeah,
second.
I'm not crying. Who's crying? Who else is crying? I'm like, it's so emotional. It's amazing. And you know what's wild to me is that I almost said no to this. And I invited Richelle into this business opportunity. I'm gonna cry because I just think to myself, like, wow, what if I didn't say yes? Like, what if I was just, I stayed stuck in my fear of like getting hurt again. I had sworn off network marketing forever. I said I would never do it again. I experienced massive loss as a result of my corporate company's decisions that were outside of my control. And, I went on my merry way. And, I had been talked to several times from people who were trying to approach me about these patches. And funny story, it was not this company, it was not Super Patch. It was another company that doesn't even come close to comparing to these patches. But I was like very close minded. My heart was hardened and it was not going to be a yes for me. But just like Richelle said, she trusted me. When I reached out to her, she was willing to listen. I said the same thing to my friend Ellie, who's also in the UK. And I love her and I adore her. And I said very honestly to her, because that's kind of just how I roll. I'm pretty blunt. And I just said, look, I love you. And I'm sure these are amazing. And I'm so happy for you. And of course, I'll listen to whatever you have to say. But just know that the answer is pretty much a no. Like, I'm really just not looking for an opportunity. I don't really want to be part of network marketing anymore. And I'm certainly not interested in those patches. And I said all kinds of derogatory things about that. I was like, it looks like a band-aid shot that you'd get at the doctor's office. I was like, your branding sucks, your marketing's awful. And she was like, are you sure we're talking about the same thing? Can I just send you some pictures? And I'm on the phone, like, on speakerphone, listening to her talk, and she sends me pictures over my phone. And what's funny is I said, look, if I was ever going to do a patch, it would have to be super high vibe, really, really colorful. Like, the branding would have to just be on fire. Like, the patches themselves would have to be really unique and fun to wear, that you'd want to take a selfie with them and post it on Instagram, right? Thinking that there's no way that this is what this is. And she sends me these pictures, and I open my phone and I'm like, oh, stick your foot in your mouth. Do you know what I mean? Because like the packaging, if you've not seen it, it's so amazing. It's so vibrant. It's so high vibe. Like, even just the names of the patches are like freedom, liberty, peace, joy, right? And then you get the patches themselves and they're like colorful and so unique with the thumbprint on them. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, of course now I have to like eat my words and hear what you have to say. But what's really kind of cool is that because it was all of those things, I was like, all right, I'll listen for real, you know? And she just shared her heart with me. And again, like you can share like you know, what do you call it? Like facts tell, stories sell, right? So like you can share all the benefits of something, but it wasn't until she asked me, well, if you were ever to say yes again, what would you need to say yes again? And I told her all about my team. I told her about my rebels. I told her about the team that I had lost and the people that I cared so much about, and how amazing our community was, and how I just wanted them to have an opportunity to win. And if there was something out there that could help them do that, then I would be willing to listen. And she shared her heart with me about this beautiful company and about this amazing opportunity in this community, and about this community of rebels. If you can see my sign in the background, that's kind of important to me. And, you know, just to be able to do life differently with people who are on the same page with you in terms of just wanting to take their power back and wanting to help empower other people. And so that night, it was literally only 3 months ago. It feels like a lifetime ago because I feel like I'm home. I just took a leap of faith and I clicked enroll and I ordered a bunch of random patches because I just didn't know any better. And my budget was kind of low at the time. You know, after having walked away from my career in network marketing, we took a huge financial loss. So it's not like I just had a ton of money lying around that I could just afford to just, you know, buy a bunch of stuff. So I just ordered like 6 or 7 different packs of patches. And then I started plugging into the back office and the community and the team page. And I saw these amazing women who looked like they were very successful doing this thing with trial packs. I had never been like a trial pack person in my experience as a network marketer. I just never was really big on doing samples to people, even though I was in health and wellness, because I always just felt like sampling to people just delayed the purchase decision. Like, what are they really going to experience with a sample? Like maybe the flavor, like maybe the texture, like, you know, it takes time to have a health change, especially with supplements, right? Health and wellness, anything that's health and wellness related. Like you have to have consistency over time, and it takes time to have a transformation. So like a sample is not going to do that. So I never invested in that strategy. But there was something about this trial pack thing that they were doing, and I was watching them on social media. They had bought a business kit, which I did not to start with, but they had bought a business kit, invested in one of the business kits that we have, which I'm sure we'll tell you about in a minute. And what they were doing was they were taking the patches and they were doing 5-day trials, offering them to their community, which, you know, they were paying for shipping and handling, $15 for 5 packs or 5 single patches, and these people were having an experience like just within days of trying these patches. And their feed was filled with comments of people who were genuinely excited and interested in wanting to try these patches, which I thought, this is just wild. I've never seen anything like it. I'm new. These people know what's going on. I'm just going to take a leap of faith. And I got my credit card with almost no money left on the limit. And I bought myself a business kit. I bought the Omni kit. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to follow this strategy and I'm going to make my money back. And sure enough, I did exactly what they did. I posted on my social media. I shared the benefits of the patches. I offered the trial packs. And within a week, I had made my money back. And it was amazing on the cost of the patches. And then it was like 3 to 4 weeks, I had doubled my money. So just on that one leap of faith, that one investment of buying that kit, which I certainly couldn't really afford at the time, but I had, you know, a little wiggle room on my credit card. I not only doubled my money, so I made all the money back on the cost of my kit, but I actually made just as much extra on top of that doing the trial packs. But I had launched my business so fast and like with such a strong start with all of these people with patches on their bodies that they were coming back to me and saying, I need to sign up for this. I want to be an associate with you. I can't not tell people about this. This is insane, right? And people were saying, I need to place an order because now I've run out of patches and I can't live without them. Like people were having such a profound experiences with just these samples that I thought to myself, like, this is just something that everybody needs to know about. Like, so it was new to me. I had never done that strategy, but it definitely helped me to get patches on people's bodies so much faster than I ever could have if I were just relying on my social media or word of mouth or just meeting people in person, because it takes time, right? You got it, the algorithm is not in your favor all the time. Like, not everybody's sitting on social media every day, and it also takes a series of exposures before they're ready to say yes to maybe making their first purchase, right? Where now I was just kind of eliminating all of that and saying, hey, just for 15 bucks, you want to try 5 patches and see how it goes? That's such an easy yes for most people, right? And I will say that it's probably the smartest business strategy I've ever seen, especially with this company, because what we have is so different. People have a genuine experiences with these patches. If nothing else, with our Liberty patch, you can demonstrate the instant impact of these patches by simply doing a strength and a balance test. And if you don't know what that is, just reach out to the person that invited you to this call, because it's amazing. You just put a patch on and you do a simple series of muscle tests that actually you can visibly see how much stronger and more stable and more balanced they are instantly. So, like, I feel so confident in just like, you'll see people are just going out in public and like walking up to random people and saying, can I patch you? Can I give you an experience? And their minds are blown, right? And they're like, I got to be part of this, because it's that big, it's that special. And I just want to wrap it up by saying, like, it's been 3 months. We just signed on my personal team, our 50th associate on my personal team yesterday. That's 50 people's lives that are deeply, deeply impacted in just 3 months. And yeah, the money's great. Like, the money is really good. The comp plan is amazing. Like, this company is a no brainer. But I'm just like, think of Richelle and that story that she just shared. And if I was stubborn, or if I was too scared, or if I couldn't get out of my own way, or my ego, or whatever, Richelle would not have experienced that transformation. And that is not something I take lightly. Like, when she sent me the message of her testimony, I just like literally cried and broke down, just like thanking God for like just helping me say yes to this opportunity, because it's not really even about me. Like, we can all go out and get a job and make a paycheck because we got to put a roof over our head, or we can all get, a side hustle to make some extra money to do whatever. There's a million different supplement companies that you can say yes to, but there is literally nothing out there that will transform people's lives the way that Rochelle's life has been transformed in a very freaking short period of time. And I will be forever grateful. So, like, even if that is the only thing that ever came out of me saying yes and getting a kit and sending out trial packs, or reaching out to my friends and saying, you got to come do this thing with me, it will be 100% worth it. But the thing that's so freaking crazy is that I get testimonials in my inbox like that from my customers and my associates every single freaking day. It's so crazy and humbling and amazing that there is just so many lives that need to be impacted. And like, I can only do so much by myself. But if I say yes, and Richelle says yes, and you say yes, and all your friends say yes, and think about the impact that we can collectively make together. Like, this is freaking drug-free wellness. There's literally nothing else out there. And the world is starving for it. We are hungry for it, and they're ready for it. Like, the world has just changed so much over the past few years that the people's hearts and readiness level is right there. Like, they want it. And so we just have to be faithful to share it with them. Just simply step forward and say yes. And I will wrap it up like this: there is no wrong way to get started with this business. I am somebody who has suffered financially immensely. I understand hardship, but I also understand opportunity. And so I would just say, whatever it is that you have on your heart, however it is that you get started, it is the best way for you, right? Because the worst thing that you could do is postpone saying yes because of your circumstances or your situation, right? So just say yes, take the step, and see what happens. I say position yourself for possibilities.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Nikki. You're always just so good at delivering all the things that people need to hear. Thank you so much for coming on here and just sharing your story. You guys, she's built a really, really fast growing organization. 3 months in, $24,000 last month. Is that what you guys did? $24,000 in patches. That's wild. So thank you so much, Tracy. I'm going to pass it
Nicole,
to you.
can I just ask you, there's a couple of people that came on a bit late and just missed the science bit. Could you just very briefly just go over that again for a couple of people? Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Absolutely. Okay, so here are your patches. Let me put a different one on because then I'll just be buzzing. Let's do a little joy today. I'll add some joy. I'm feeling happy, but let's do it. All right, so they come in these little packs just like this. You open them up and they are like this. You take the peel off the back, and I'm going to show you these ridges. So each one is unique and so different. You can see right like that. So there is a neural code that's printed on the back. And what happens when you stick it on your skin? You can stick it anywhere. You could put it on your arm right here. You could put it here, leg, thighs, back, whatever. The minute that I put that on my body, my skin, because your skin is your largest organ, it communicates all kinds of things to your brain, and you really don't even have to think about it, right? So, the example I gave earlier was like touching something, like if you go to grab something off the stove and it's hot, you don't have to think, oh my gosh, that's hot, right? Like there's zero thought. It's touch, oh, it's hot. Okay, so your skin communicates so many things to your brain. So what this does is this communicates tiny messages through your skin receptors using something called vibrotactile technology. It's Nobel Prize winning science. You can Google it. But basically it's using the haptic receptors in your skin to communicate small, quick messages to your brain. So every patch we have has a different message. This is joy. This one is sleep. So you got to go to sleep. You got to get good, deep, long sleep. This. So that is the basic science behind it. But the thing about it is they work and they work quickly. A lot of questions we get is, can you wear multiple? Yes. Think about it. Your skin communicates so many messages to your brain all the time. I could touch a hot stove and put my hand on ice at the same time and it'd be like, oh my God, that's hot. Drop it. That's cold. Right. You go outside and you have windy, rainy day, like your body is receiving messages all of the time on a totally subconscious level. So the minute you put this on, it sends a message up your spine into either the front, middle, or rear cortex of your brain. And it sends these very unique messages, much like Braille. When you're reading something on a piece of paper, if you're blind and you're reading something with Braille, it's the same thing. So hopefully that answers your questions. Tracy, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys, if you are excited and you definitely want to know more, get back with the person that invited you. Tracy, I'm going to pass it back to you for you to close this out.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Well, if every single person on this Zoom wasn't in tears watching that, like I was crying, everyone was crying. I've got my phone's blowing up going, that's it, I'm joining. It's just, thank you so much for everybody to come on and share that testimonial, because each testimonial that we're doing each night is something a little bit different, talking about the different patches, and that was really personal and we all really appreciate you sharing. So thank you to Richelle for sharing that. And thank you to Niki for sharing your business testimonial. Thanks to everyone for coming on. Let's get busy, guys. Let's get the message out there. Let's get this launched in the UK. Launch date is the 9th. We're ready. Let's go. Speak to you soon.